Hello everyone, welcome back to Ace Wisdom. Let's be real, they never expected you to pull away first. They thought they had more time to breadcrumb you, more time to keep you hooked with half effort, with maybe later, with their pathetic little emotional scraps. But now, you've detached, and that silence you gave them, it wasn't just quiet, it was war. A declaration of value, a shift in power, a complete withdrawal of supply they thought would never run out. Welcome to week 3, warrior. If you've been here since episode 16, salute to you. You've survived their silence. You've passed the test most people fail, the test of not chasing what disrespected you. Because here's what most people don't get about avoidance. They don't spiral when you blow up their phone. They spiral when you stop giving a damn. They don't regret losing you when you cry. They regret it when your absence becomes louder than their presence. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Guess what? You've just realized it. You've finally stopped waiting for their half-hearted check-ins, and that stillness, that lack of performance, that eerie calm you've built, it's haunting them. Psychologically, the mind can't stand uncertainty, especially their mind, the one built on control, avoidance, and emotional distance. When you detach, you're no longer feeding the monster. You're no longer predictable, and unpredictability is a nightmare for someone who relied on your consistency to feel superior. That's why this episode matters more than ever, because today we're exposing the 5 exact stages your avoidant ex spirals through when your energy goes neutral, not needy, not nasty, just calm, unbothered, unreachable. By the end of this video, you won't just understand what's happening inside their head. You'll realize how dangerous you've become the moment you stopped explaining yourself. Stay with me, because if you've ever wondered, do they even care? Do they regret losing me? Will they ever come back? This episode answers all of it. And if you make it to the end, you'll know exactly which stage they're stuck in right now. So if you're not already subscribed, do that right now. Smash the like button. Turn on notifications because Volume 4 is just getting started and Week 3 is where the game flips. And listen, we can't keep building these videos without your support. So if this content has hit home for you even once, join the channel membership using the link in the description. It helps us keep going, keep growing, and keep giving power back to the ones who finally stop chasing. Lastly, I want you to drop this in the comments. My detachment is louder than their silence. Type it, own it, declare it, because from this point forward, you are not the one spiraling. They are. And now we're about to break down why. Let's get into it. Stay focused. Stage 1. Confusion wrapped in ego. The first thing they feel isn't sadness. It's not regret. It's not even guilt. It's confusion, but ego-flavored confusion. The kind that whispers, "Wait, why aren't they reaching out? Did they meet someone? Are they trying to get a reaction? Surely they're not actually done." Because in the mind of the avoidant, you were always supposed to break first. They got used to your vulnerability, to your emotional check-ins, to you being the one who tried, apologized, softened first, even when they were the ones who pulled away. They never expected your stillness to be real. They never thought your silence would feel this sharp. See, they mistake your love for weakness. They assumed your compassion came from desperation. But now they're learning that what you showed was patience, not powerlessness. And so begins the mental spiral. Did they really mean what they said last time? Are they actually over me? Was I just an option? But here's what they won't do in stage 1. They won't ask. They won't reach out, because their ego won't let them. Instead, they watch. They monitor. They test the waters with passive aggression, silence, or even bait-like posts. They're searching for proof that you're still orbiting them, without having to humble themselves and actually check in. And the best part, Your detachment creates more noise than any text you could have sent. While they try to convince themselves that you're just being dramatic, their gut is saying something different, something primal, something they can't unfeel. Something's changed, and I don't like this version of them. This is the exact moment where their power begins to crack. And now, we move to stage 2. But before we go any further, if you're reading this, prove you're not the one spiraling. Type this in the comments. My detachment is louder than their silence. The first person to comment the secret mantra in stage 4 will get pinned, so stay locked in. Ready for stage 2? Let's keep going. Stage 2. The ego fights back, but quietly. Now that confusion's set in, their ego starts working overtime. And this isn't the kind of ego that walks in proudly and admits, "Damn, I think I messed up." No. This ego is subtle, slippery, stubborn. It says things like, they're probably just trying to get a reaction. They'll come back, they always do. I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of thinking I care. Sound familiar? What you're seeing is resistance. Their mind knows your absence is hitting differently, but their ego refuses to surrender. So instead of humility, they double down on performance. They might start posting more, looking extra happy on socials, showing off their fake glow-up or casually liking someone else's story to seem unbothered. But here's the truth. If they didn't care, they wouldn't need to perform. They wouldn't need to prove anything. When someone's really done with you, they disappear quietly. But when someone's ego is bruised and secretly watching, they broadcast fake peace while praying you'll notice. It's textbook avoidant behavior. Deny, distract, display. But here's where they start to lose control. Because your silence. It doesn't flinch, it doesn't chase, it doesn't respond to the bait. And now, their own performance starts to feel hollow. They're doing all the right things, posting, smiling, pretending. But the one person they want a reaction from, you're not buying it. You're not biting. You're not even watching. And this is where the shift begins. Their performance was meant to pull you back. But when that fails, they don't feel powerful anymore. They feel invisible. And nothing shakes an avoidant like the realization that their usual tactics aren't working. Brace yourself, because stage 3 is where panic begins. Stage 2. The ego fights back, but quietly. Stage 3 is where panic begins. Should I continue with stage 3 now? Absolutely. Let's dive deep into the unraveling. Stage 3, the internal panic they swore would never come. This is where the calm exterior starts to crack, and no, you won't see it publicly. There's no confession post, no teary DM, no heartfelt voice note. Because avoidants don't panic out loud. They panic inwardly, in the dead silence of the night, in the quiet moments they used to fill with your attention. And now, they're left alone with the one voice they can't mute. Their own. This stage is pure chaos dressed in denial. They'll tell themselves, it's just a phase. I don't even need them. I'm better off anyway. But the truth, they're checking their phone obsessively, every app, every story, every notification, looking for you. They'll swear they don't miss you, while accidentally opening your profile 6 times a day. They'll act unfazed. But they'll ask mutual friends about you in passing. They'll suddenly remember old jokes, your scent, that hoodie you left behind. And it won't feel nostalgic. It'll feel like a void. This is the emotional vertigo avoidants aren't prepared for, because when you detach emotionally, you're not just ignoring them. You're breaking the cycle they depended on for control. They didn't think your silence would be sustainable. They thought it was a bluff, a phase, a mind game. But now, the days are stacking, and with every hour of peace you preserve, they're spinning faster. And here's the twisted irony. The more they panic, the more they want to reach out. But the more time passes, the more they fear what you'll say. Because for the first time ever, they're starting to realize, I might have actually lost them. And this is exactly what they tried to avoid by keeping you half close. They wanted access, not accountability. Now they have neither. This stage is a breaking point. But instead of apologizing, they stall. They hope you'll give in first. They wait for a breadcrumb from you. But the moment never comes. Just silence, just stillness, just power. Now buckle up, because stage 4 is where things get messy, real messy. And for those of you watching closely, the secret mantra is coming in stage 4. The first person to comment it will get pinned. Let's keep going. Ready for stage 4? Stage 4. Desperation in disguise. This is the stage most people fall for, because what happens next feels like progress, but it's really just a trap wearing lipstick. When their silent panic reaches boiling point, they don't confess, they camouflage, they show up again, but not directly. They won't say, I miss you. They won't say, I regret it. Instead, they drop subtle hints. A random, how have you been, after weeks of silence. A story reply with a fire emoji. A shared meme that reminds them of you. Or worse, they'll act like nothing happened at all. And here's the twisted part. They'll reach out just enough to spark confusion, but not enough to offer clarity. Why? Because they want re-entry without responsibility. They want reassurance, not reconciliation. They want to see if your door's still open, without admitting they ever knocked. This is not love. This is emotional baiting, and most people, they fold right here. They think, maybe they're finally coming around. Maybe this is their way of trying. Maybe I should just respond and see what happens. Stop. Don't confuse contact with change, because anyone can come back. But coming back without accountability, that's not a second chance. That's a second round of suffering. You didn't detach just to entertain their half-effort. You detached to protect your peace. And this is the part they didn't see coming. You've upgraded from their mind games. Because real power, it's not about ignoring them to look strong. It's about not needing their attention to feel strong. You're not playing hard to get. You've just become hard to access. And now they're realizing they don't have the password anymore. So here's your challenge. Don't take the bait. Don't romanticize crumbs. And don't trade your healing for a hit of validation. Because stage 4 is not a breakthrough. It's a test. And if you want to pass it, comment this mantra right now. Their confusion is not my invitation. Let the whole comment section know you see through the bait. You don't chase closure. You don't negotiate your growth. The first person to comment this secret mantra will get pinned. Now buckle up. Stage 5 is the part they can't come back from. Let's go. Ready for stage 5? Let's bring it home. Stage 5. The collapse. They can't admit this is where it all implodes. The mind games didn't work. The bait didn't work. The silence didn't break you. The subtle re-entry failed. And now they're spiraling in private and pretending in public. You see, most avoidants never thought it would get this far. They assumed you'd bend. They banked on your old patterns. They thought, they'll miss me eventually. But now they're realizing it's them who's missing you. Not just your presence, but your access, your warmth, your attention, your ability to see them when they couldn't even see themselves. And what does a person do when they realize they've lost something irreplaceable, and it's their fault? They don't confront it. They collapse under it. But not openly. No emotional speeches, no apologies, just withdrawal, just inner chaos masked with fake peace. This is where self-sabotage begins. They distract themselves. They overwork. They jump into a rebound. They convince themselves you were the problem, all to avoid facing the truth. I pushed away someone who actually gave a damn, and now they're never coming back. They may try to rewrite history, tell people you were too much, say they needed space, act like they outgrew you. But it's all noise, because late at night when no one's watching, they're scrolling, rereading, reliving. They're looking for closure in places that only remind them. You gave them more chances than they deserved, and they lost the one person who actually saw past their walls. This is the part where your detachment becomes legendary, not because you turned cold, but because you chose peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, self-respect over second chances. And now their spiral is complete, but your growth is just beginning. They lost you, you found you. So now you've seen it, stage by stage, the unraveling, the confusion, the panic, the fake peace, and finally, the collapse. While they were trying to maintain control, you chose to reclaim your power. And that decision, that shift, that silence, it said everything they needed to hear, without you saying a single damn word. Because real healing isn't loud. It's not a performance. It's a transformation, one that leaves the people who took you for granted speechless. So here's what I want from you right now. Like this video if you saw yourself in any of those stages. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because Volume 4 is only getting more savage from here. Join the channel membership, link in the description, to support this movement, because this isn't just content. It's a rebellion against being emotionally manipulated, a rebellion against overgiving, a rebellion against begging for love you deserved by default. And in the comments below, declare it loud and clear. They lost me, I found me. No more begging, no more bait, no more spiraling. You've just proven you're not the one stuck anymore. You're not the one searching for closure. You're the one they can't reach anymore. The first thing your avoidant ex regrets. When you go quiet, you think they only miss you when you glow up. Nah, it starts way earlier than that, before the gym selfies, before the new haircut, before you even post your first "I'm doing just fine" photo. It starts in the silence, in the space where your energy used to be. In that exact moment they realize they had peace and mistook it for boredom. In episode 18, we're breaking down the exact first regret that haunts your avoidant ex long before they ever admit it. You'll finally understand what their subconscious whispers when they think they've moved on. Don't miss it. This is where the story flips again.